Sure.
So one of the things that we really want to talk about today is Texas became the first state to decide to opt out of the refugee resettlement program. And Governor Greg Abbott has been getting a lot of slack for this. Before we get into the politics of it, first explain for us, Glenn, what exactly is this refugee resettlement program?
Well, refugees to come to the United States for reasons fleeing violence or hunger or rising waters or other catastrophes that threaten their lives, America's always welcomed them. And there's a very well-run program that resettles those people in locations across the country, and it's been going on for quite some time. And I think everybody from business to local folks that know what they can ultimately mean to their economy are for it, and that's why the governor's got so much pushback.
Yeah, you know, it's run through the U.S. Refugee Admission Program is what the program is called, and it's generally been seen as a bipartisan, group. People willingly take in these refugees. Matt, what are your initial thoughts about the governor saying Texas doesn't want to participate this time around?
So it's a one-year decision. It only lasts for the 2020 calendar year. And in fact, there are around 1,000 refugees in the resettlement program that are in the process for Texas. So it's not that there's going to be zero for this year. There's just not going to be more than the 1,000 or so that are in process now. I think from the governor's office standpoint, they believe that this is about burden sharing. Texas has taken more refugees than any other state in recent years. I think last year they took over 2,000. You had to think half the states take 0 refugees last year. You had another 4 states take 500 or less. Now, clearly, Texas is a bigger state, so it should have a bigger share probably. But I think from the governor's standpoint, he wants to focus on the border security issues related to the illegal immigrant population that's come in and the homelessness challenges that we're feeling, not just in Austin, but in other cities over this calendar year, and then reevaluate the program at the end of the year for 2021.
Okay, but he's getting a lot of criticism for deciding to opt out, even though it's for 1 year. Glenn, why is that? We're
the friendship state. We welcome refugees from all over the world, and we really always have. In fact, Texas was built by refugees in the first place. So it's a symbolic kind of setback for the state's reputation, I believe. I don't disagree with Matt that the numbers are very small here that are going to be affected, but then that makes this even sort of more egregious to me because there's no impact. Why did he do it? If it's so minimum of an impact, why did he even care in the first place? It's kind of a slap in the face to refugees who might want to resettle in Houston or Dallas or San Antonio or Austin. So it's a puzzling kind of message he sent to the world.
Yeah, but do you feel like there are some people who see refugees and immigrants? We want to point out that there's definitely a difference between someone who is classified as a refugee and someone who's classified as an immigrant. But people who say, well, it's our use of our resources that we just don't have the ability to help.
There's no evidence whatsoever that they're any sort of a burden on our resources, the local level or the state level. As Matt said, the numbers are so small. How could they be, really? They don't go and get, free health care or anything like some people that don't like them might say. They actually contribute to the local economies faster than many. They start contributing, getting jobs, paying taxes. And that's why chambers of commerce are all for this, and that's why the Catholic bishops are for it. Everybody knows they're a boost to the quality of life here in the state.
Yeah, in fact, you brought up an interesting point when you mentioned those Catholic bishops. All of the bishops in Texas have come out and kind of condemned the governor, Matt, about this.
Yeah, and that's, it's personal for the governor because he's Catholic as well. And so, look, these are the challenges you face when you might have personal views that are in one place, but then when you're in a position of government, you're looking at the whole picture, all the impacts, all the issues, and that's the decision you made just for this one calendar year. 2 points to make sure that the audience understands. Number one, anyone that comes here and resettles somewhere else can still come to Texas. We're not saying a refugee can never come to Texas. We're just saying they can't be initially resettled new individuals for the 2020 calendar year. And then second, this doesn't affect the total number of refugees that will come to the United States this calendar year. They're going to go to other places, other states. I guess all the other states so far that have announced their decision are going to take them. So it doesn't affect the overall number. From a conversation I had with someone in the governor's office, if it would have affected the overall number, the governor would have had a different decision, I believe, on this. So look, there's going to be a lot of debate, a lot of discussion about it, some disagreement, clearly. I think the question is what's going to happen over the next year. Are we really going to start to tackle the border security issues, the homelessness issues, deal with the populations we have, the 1,000 people people who are in processing, and then maybe come to a different conclusion at the end of this year.
Let me ask you this. So we like to say that as Go Texas goes the rest of the country, do you think there will be other states who then begin to say, well, we're going to opt out too?
No, I don't think so. If there are, it'll be a very, very small number, a handful. I think most states have done this, but this is not the only state where there's opposition. I saw in Tennessee, for example, the Republican legislature encouraged the governor not to accept refugees, and the Republican governor there overrode his legislature to go ahead and do it. So there is some disagreement about this in different states. So far, we haven't seen another state opt out, but there still are some states that haven't made their decision yet.
Okay, hopeful that those other states will step up.
I think some 40 plus have already said that they would accept them, right? So that's a good thing. And I always think about the Statue of Liberty and give us your tired and your homeless, except don't send them to Texas. It's an embarrassment, if you ask me. It really is a black mark in our history.
All right, well, we will definitely see how this moves.